Epson continues to grow and innovate with its EcoTank line of printers. Welcome back to another Techstination interview. I'm Fred Fishkin. Joining us from Epson is product manager Haol Yao. Thanks for joining us, Haol.
You're welcome. It's great to talk to you.
Great to talk to you too. Now, you have some brand new printers on the market, but first let's talk about this super tank printer category that Epson has pioneered. Describe what it is and how it's been growing for you.
Sure. Epson recognized a while back that one of the biggest frustrations that people have with printing is having to deal with ink and toner cartridges. They're expensive, they don't last that long, especially if you want to print a lot. And because of that, they seem to run out all the time. And often it feels like at the very worst times. So I don't know about you, but I've definitely had that experience where I really needed to get something printed. I was ready to head out the door. I hit print, and then the dreaded out of ink message pops up. And it can be really stressful, right? So Epson decided to come up with a better way. And that better way turned out to be EcoTank. Not only do EcoTank printers have the latest technology, great specs, great print quality, reliability, they don't use cartridges at all. So they have supersized ink tanks built right into them that you fill with the low-cost ink bottles. We launched the very first EcoTank printers in North America about 6 years ago. As you mentioned, we pioneered the super tank category, and they've really just taken off. People are loving the fact that not only are these great printers, but they don't have to worry about cartridges anymore.
So it's a matter of convenience and I think also to some extent savings, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. Really, there are a lot of benefits that you get with an EcoTank printer. First of all, it comes with a lot of ink. So for most models, each set of ink bottles has about the same ink as 80 individual ink cartridges. So that's how much ink you're getting. So depending on how much you print, that could last you up to 2 years or more before you need to worry about possibly running out. And then when you finally do have to buy replacement ink, it's very inexpensive. With our most popular models, you can save up to 80% on ink versus using ink cartridges. So you don't have to worry so much anymore about running out of ink, and you don't have to worry about breaking the bank with expensive cartridges.
Is that what are these what the focus at Epson is on today? The EcoTank printers, or do you still have some cartridge printers, right?
So yeah, we have both, but the new models that just launched are all new EcoTank models.
Well, let's talk about some of them. First of all, you've got the EcoTank Pro ET 5150 and the 5170. Tell me about the features here.
Sure. So these are an extension of our EcoTank Pro lineup. We feel like they're perfect for home offices, small offices. These are built for high volume business printing. They produce really professional quality prints. And again, they have that EcoTank value and convenience with the bottles that let you print for a really long time and are very economical. We really think our EcoTank Pro lineup is the future of business printing. And a lot of customers who've switched either from ink cartridge printers or laser printers are agreeing. Like I mentioned, these are adding to our existing Pro lineup. So we had 5 models, 3 letter size models and 2 wide format models. And we're adding these 2 new models, the ET 5150 and 5170, like you mentioned. And these are give you a lot of those same benefits, but at a bit of a more affordable price point. For small businesses and home offices, these are really perfect.
Where does pricing begin?
So with the 5150, that one is $499, and the 5170 is $549. And I'll mention, for all of our EcoTank Pro models right now, we have a special program, which is that if you buy one of those models, any of the Pro models, you get unlimited ink for 2 years. And what that means is that for up to 2 years, if you need to get replacement ink after buying the printer, we're going to reimburse you the MSRP value of that ink. So that's a really tremendous offer right now for anyone that prints a lot.
Wow, that is terrific. Then you've got the EcoTank Photo ET 8500 and the 8550. Tell me about these printers and the strategy.
Yeah, so let me start off by saying that we've wanted to do a SuperTank photo printer for a really long time. And the reason for that is that it's really perfect for SuperTank printing. One of the biggest benefits of SuperTank printing is that you get lots of ink at a very low cost. So the more ink you use, the more valuable it is to have those low-cost, high-yield ink bottles. And photo printing, in particular, uses up a lot of ink, especially when you're printing larger sizes. So as you mentioned, we launched our first EcoTank photo printers last month, the ET8500, which prints standard letter size, and the ET8550, which is a wide format printer that prints up to a borderless 13-inch by 19-inch. These are both all-in-one printers. So they also scan, copy, and print your everyday documents. But what really make EcoTank Photo special are, first and foremost, stunning photos and graphics with a brand new 6-ink platform. Also, the ability to print on all sorts of media. Actually, I'll get a little bit deeper into that because that's really cool. And then that EcoTank value and convenience that you get with all the EcoTanks. So there's a lot of amazing technology in these new photo printers, but one thing that I want to point out in particular is that ability to print on all sorts of media. It'll of course print on all the regular stuff you'd expect, like all kinds of photo papers, presentation papers, even optical discs, CDs or DVDs if you want to do that. But what these can do that most retail printers can't do is print on very thick paper, up to 1.3 millimeter thick. And 1.3 millimeter may not sound like a lot, but it is a lot. That means that you can print on all kinds of cardstocks and even some poster boards up to 13 inches by 19 inches for the wide format model. And the way that it does that is it has something that, again, most retail printers don't have, which is a straight through feed, which means that you can feed the media that are thick and can't be bent straight through the printer so that it doesn't have to curl or bend at all. And that kind of versatility makes the range of applications for these EcoTank Pro photo printers really broad. We think that they're perfect for all sorts of creative specialists, hobbyists, designers, and entry-level photographers.
Terrific. So, I mean, you have obviously a line of professional photo printers used by pros, but enthusiasts are really going to be able to take advantage of this now to go up to 13 by 19.
Yeah, exactly. And as you mentioned, yeah, we have the SureColor lineup for real professional printing that are going to be selling their photos or selling their artwork. But this is a great economical printer that, again, it acts as an all-in-one also. So you don't need to have a separate photo printer and then another printer to print your regular documents. And they're still going to give you really amazing photo quality.
And would it be using a different ink cartridge, not a cartridge, but different ink, an ink tank for the regular documents than it would be using for the photographs?
Yeah. So the photo printing is a dye-based system, but it does also have a pigment black. So the pigment black is better for printing sharp text, black text, and things like that for your everyday documents. But the photo printing is all and that's another good distinction from our SureColor lineup of professional photo printers, which are all pigment based. And so the pigment based ink brings its own characteristics that are different from the dye based inks.
What are some of the other unique features of these printers? Obviously, you said you've been wanting to get into this for a while, bringing the EcoTank technology to a photo printer.
Mm-hmm. Well, like I mentioned, there's a lot of new technology that we developed specifically for these photo printers with this new platform. Again, it's 6 colors, including a gray ink. So that gray ink helps a lot with smooth gradations, and especially with black and white prints, makes those really stunning. Another thing that is new with these models is, so we have with our heat-free technology, we have what's called a VSDT technology, which is VDST, which is variable dot size technology. And what that means is that we can actually control the size of the dots that are coming out of the printhead. And if you can imagine, how fast, how small these dots are and how fast they are coming out, that's pretty amazing. And typically we can control the ink droplets to 3 sizes with our printers. With this new platform for EcoTank Photo, we've actually managed to up that to 5 different sizes. So we can control each ink dot up to 5 different sizes, which really helps with performance, with those gradations again, and with it coming out with a really true photographic print quality.
So tell us what's happened with demand for your line of printers, with so many people having been working from home, and the indications are that much of that's going to continue, at least some of the time.
Yeah. As I'm sure you're aware, the landscape of retail printing has changed a lot in the last year, just like it has for a lot of categories, a lot of consumer electronics categories. COVID has really changed the way that people are doing things, of course. And as people have had to do more in their homes, they're doing more work, more school, more of everything. It's become more and more important for them to have a printer at home that's dependable and that can keep up with their needs. So we're seeing people who have never had a printer at home before buying printers for the first time. People who have had a basic printer are trading up for better higher end models to support all the work that they're doing from home now. And for all those reasons, printer sales are up, and people are just printing more in the home. So, demand for printers has gone up a lot in the last year. The same is true for us, both for our cartridge models and for our EcoTank models. And like you mentioned, we do see this trend continuing to some extent, even post-COVID. There are a lot of signs that the work from home trend is gonna stay.
And even if people are headed back to the office, they may need a new printer there too. So you've got that market covered.
Yeah, that's right. That's true as well. Yeah, so a lot of printing shifted home during this past year, and will somewhat be shifting back into the office soon.
Especially if they've spoiled themselves with one of these printers at home. They want the same convenience in the office. So tell us where people can go for more information.
Oh, well, definitely our website, www.epson.com/ecotank. You can find out a lot more about all of our EcoTank models. I'll mention that, we started out when we first launched EcoTank, I think we had 5 models, and now we have over 20. So we have a really broad portfolio of EcoTanks for, basic home printing, home office to small office and small work group, small business. We have an EcoTank now modeled for just about everyone.
Terrific. Haol Yao, thank you so much for taking the time with us.
You're welcome. It's great talking to you.